Hey everyone, today we're going to be doing something completely different. I'm going to talk about arc raiders, but this video is going to be completely unscripted. I haven't had time to fully flesh out a script, so I'm just going to try and do it live while I play. If this ends up sucking, then you're probably never going to see it, so oh well. Yeah, look, I haven't uploaded in a while, so, I'm going to do a bit of a channel update after I finish talking about arc raiders. So let's get the fun stuff out of the way first, and, the channel update stuff will come later. Do a loadout. It looks like I died last time I played, because I don't have a loadout ready. So yeah, I've been playing arc raiders over the past week, and I've been really liking it. It's... I had a lot of initial hesitance going into it, because originally when the game was announced in, like, 2021 at the Game Awards, yeah, the game was meant to be a purely PvE, free-to-play game, and then in late 2023, I think it was, they announced that they were changing it to a PvPvE extraction-style game. And, yeah, look, that announcement got a lot of hesitance from me. Like, I wasn't very happy with that announcement. I've had a rant in one of my, like... I had a rant in one of my videos about it, where I was just like, I'm not sure if this is the game I want to play anymore. But, you know what? I've been playing it, and it's been pretty good. I need to turn this game down. I think either the developers at Embark, or maybe it might have been Nexon, the publishers, were like, we're not sure if this game is going to... Oh, I need lemons. I think lemons are over here. Yeah, I'm not sure. Like, they weren't sure that the game was going to be good enough to survive, so they added PvP. I don't know. I don't think we're ever going to know what the, like, whole reasons for the pivot in game direction was ever going to be. I was definitely a doubter, and I'm not anymore, because I'm having a lot of fun with this game. I've played a couple of, extraction-style shooters in the past, like Tarkov, and that game is purely just everyone pretty much shoots on sight in that game, and that game is extremely sweaty. I think it's nice to just kind of be in on the ground floor while everyone's still trying to figure things out. Something I found very strange is that solo play feels a lot different to duo play. Like, people are much nicer, like, if you're just solo queuing, and, like, it's just... I don't know, I feel like a lot of other people are, like, more willing to talk to each other and, like, team up and stuff, whereas in duos, 95% of player interaction is just kill on sight. Or at least that's what I found anyway. Like, I've been playing duos with my friend Scrublike, and, every fucking player interaction is just shoot or be shot. Whereas in solos, people are just like, hey, it's friendly. Some guy asked me, like, we found each other in, like, the hospital in one of the maps and came across each other, and the first thing he asked me was if I'm an ass man. It was just like, okay. I'm not an ass man, but I said yes because I wasn't sure if he was going to shoot me if I said no. Yeah, like, play interaction, it feels very reminiscent of old DayZ, like back when it was DayZ mod, Arma 2 mod DayZ. Like, back when, yeah, people just didn't know. Like, it was harder to take care of yourself, and people were just more willing to work together. And a lot of the reason I think, people are more willing to work together in this game is because the Ark are such a threat. And, that could be just because it's still early days and people are still working it out, but, the Ark, which are the enemies in this game, are an actual threat. They are scary as shit. And, if you're in a firefight and Ark come along, the Ark are the bigger fucking danger. One of the big takeaways that I've had from this game is that this definitely could have just been a PvE experience. I believe that the enemy AI are good enough to, sustain a game that would have been just purely PvE, like just player versus environment. And I wonder what this game could have looked like if it was just like, just a fully open world survival game, but there's just Ark going around everywhere and shit like that. I mean, I don't know. There's a million different ways I think this game could have gone in, like, direction-wise, and they all could have worked pretty well. It actually runs very well. It's, like, one of the only Unreal games that actually just seems to run without a hitch, and then I get a lag spike just as I say that. Compared to other games that have been releasing that have been on Unreal Engine looking at you, Borderlands, that looks maybe about half as good and runs twice as bad. I like the way the game looks. It runs well. The game feels good to play. The gunplay is, very intuitive. It feels satisfying, except for the Rattler. Well, some of the guns are just shit by nature, but that's not good. And look, the sound design is really good in this game. Footsteps are very clear and easy to hear. Just environmental. Oh god. I wonder if I can get this. And yeah, just environmental noises are really good. The immersion is great despite it being, third person. Sometimes it's harder to get like immersed in a game when the game's, third person, but it works. The art design is great. The environmental design is great. Like, I should have had more faith in Embark Studios, especially because, like, they developed and made the finals, which is an absolutely fantastic game. That it's just one of those things that I wish, I feel bad that I don't play more of it because it is such a fun and really good game. But yeah, this game is, it's better than I thought it was going to be. And yeah, I am still a bit disappointed it isn't the game I originally wanted it to be, but a lot of that comes from the fact that, Helldivers exist now, which is kind of like the kind of game that I thought this was going to be, like a purely just PvE, just player versus monster, big open worlds, big dangerous threats. That came out and showed that it could be done and it can be popular. Someone in here? I swear I just heard something. Let's play it safe. And I think Embark also know that. Like, I feel like they... Yeah, can you hear gunshots? I feel like Embark know that. I feel like there is probably room for this game to pivot in direction or maybe spin off in certain ways if they really want to. But we'll just leave that for, like, later down the line. I know I've seen a lot of people being like, what the fuck? Maybe live commentary wasn't a good idea. You just, like, lose complete train of thought when you see an explosion. Oh, man, I'm no streamer. I'm better when I'm, like, fully scripted. Ooh, there's people. Hello? See you down the end of the hallway. You chill? Chill?
Yeah.
Hey, how's it going, mate? See how this guy.
There's the turret all the way to the control tower.
They're just ignoring me. Yeah, sick player interaction. I'll just leave them alone. Anyway, I've always been looking for the, like, kind of game that kind of fills the hole that old DayZ used to feel. Like, before, it became the standalone game and, like, the survival elements were, like, cranked up to 11. I never really, like, I like having open world survival and I like it being a bit hardcore, but I don't like having to manage, like, every little fucking thing. And that in the game just kind of sucked to play. Like, it didn't feel very good to play. That's just me, though. Like, I know a lot of people like DayZ for, kind of what it is. I like games that are able to surprise me. Like, I do like games that have, like, big peaks and valleys in kind of pacing. Like, you never know when something could happen. Like, someone could be, behind this door, or they could be stalking me for, like, ages and just pop out of nowhere. Games that keep you on your toes for, like, long amounts of time. And look, at the scale of, like, extraction shooters, it's nowhere near as hardcore as Tarkov. And I would say the player onboarding experience is very good with this. I feel like there's a lot of systems in place to make sure you don't get stuck. There's always scrappy. You can, like, claim all the scrap. You can sell it. It's the scrap goes for quite a bit of money if you just sell it and you don't need it. There's free loadouts which you can, go in with, I'm pretty sure just an unlimited amount of time. So you can just keep going in with a free loadout. It'll give you, something you can work with. As for, like, the skill trees and stuff like that, this is all pretty stock standard. I don't really have much of an opinion on this. I do wish you could kind of respec a lot easier. I'm not even sure if there is a way to respec. I haven't really looked into it. Customization needs a bit of work. It's okay. I wish there was a bit more of a mix and match kind of deal. Yeah, this was a problem that early finals had where you could like only buy like full outfits, which they ended up fixing. Now you can buy bits and pieces. You don't have to buy full outfits to get the whole thing. You can't even mix and match in this game. You can only have the full outfits, and then you can have you can customize the outfit a little bit. It's not very good. I don't like it that much. I don't actually really like many of the outfits at the moment. Again, like every live service game kind of suffers from this. The first lot of outfits are always kind of like the worst they'll be. And then, you know, they'll kind of experiment a bit more and come up with some more fun shit later. So yeah, I haven't really bought any of these. Battle Pass in a premium game. Yeah, look, I'm not sure how they're going to go going forward, but obviously you get the first one for free because it's a premium game. We'll see if they, you know, charge us for later ones. They probably will. That's live service games for you now. It's not great. I'm not a fan of it. I wish, you know, it wasn't this way, but I guess they want to try and keep making their money over time somehow. So, look, Arc Raiders, it launched to like a very good reception. I think it's like 90% positive on Steam, and, you know, I agree with that. It's a good, solid 9 out of 10 experience at the moment. And look, the trick with any live service, but especially with extraction shooters, is just keeping that momentum and keeping the player base happy for a long amount of time. And, you know, especially extraction shooters are extremely hard to do this, keeping cheaters out of the game. But the trick is to keep player attention and keep content coming, content that's meaningful, that doesn't unbalance the, you know, whole ecosystem, finding a way to make wipes not feel like shit. That's a big one. They've announced how they're going to be doing it in this game, and it's something along the lines of it's, you know, voluntary, but you have to like do a bunch of challenges or something. I haven't really read into it that much. I haven't gotten to that point of the game. It'll remain to be seen how well it works. And look, Embark, they haven't really like steered wrong yet. Like if the finals is anything to go by, like they've done a good job. Like they listen to player feedback. They'll make some mistakes, but, you know, they should come good in the end. And that's, you know, if history is anything to go by. I'm not sure if I have anything else to say about this game. Oh yeah, so the AI voice thing, that's one last thing. In this game, you have the ability to be able to mask your voice with an AI voice that'll like match your raider. So I can sound like a woman if I want to. I don't have the clip of this. My friend who recorded me is away on holiday, so I can't get that from him. I can't really record myself what I sound like, but it is it's a real fucking trip, I'll tell you that. It's much better than I thought it was. Some people definitely sound very AI-y, but mine sounded very realistic, and it's very kind of off-putting. I think I made my friend who I was playing with a bit uncomfortable when I used it. So yeah, the ability to like catfish people, that's cool. Not sure how I feel about that, but anyway, it's an interesting game mechanic, I guess. We just kind of want to like role play a little bit. Yeah, I think that's all I have to say on Arc Raiders. It's not the game I wanted, but it's very good nonetheless. So yeah, let's move on to the not so much fun stuff. So yeah, anyone who's a long-time subscriber has probably noticed that I haven't uploaded in over a month now, which, yeah, look, is not ideal. And there's a couple of reasons for this, and the first... What the fuck was that? And the first reason, and the main reason, being that I've been pretty sick for the last 3 weeks or so. But a lot of that sickness has been a lot of coughing, and a lot of my throat hurting, and it hurting to swallow. So, I don't know if any doctors are in the chat. Yeah, those are my symptoms. Do with that what you will. And I haven't really... what the fuck happened here? And I haven't really wanted to record in case, you know, recording made things worse. You know, sometimes recording can put a lot of strain on the vocal cords. It's happened before. And I don't want to do that. You know, especially considering how, you know, long it took me to recover. I don't want to, like, set myself back at all. And look, I've been, you know, gone for well over 3 weeks. So, you know, that's not the only reason I've been gone. I did actually manage to record one video, and I wrote a script for it, and the video is probably about It was a big video. I think it was probably going to be about 25 to 30 minutes long. And, oh my god, there's another dead guy. What the hell's going on here? Because, yeah, I was actually able to record, and I got maybe one video about halfway done. And I ended up scrapping it. And it was mostly just because I wasn't happy with it. Go up there. I'm going to avoid that. I'm definitely someone who likes to avoid confrontation rather than start and get into it with this game. So, yeah, look, I don't think... My content over the past couple of months hasn't really been hitting the quality mark that I've been happy with. It's definitely been a bit hit or miss. And I think the Chronos video, I liked how that turned out. The Macabre video, it was okay. The Sonic video the Sonic Racing video was definitely not good, and that was not up to standard. I stand by what I said in that video, but I could have communicated it a lot better than I did. And, yeah, there were parts of the video where I probably should have. People were right about the video. I should have gone deeper into the, what do you call it, whatever the perk system in that game was. I didn't think it was that good, but people made it out to sound like it was much better than I was giving it credit for anyway. And so I should have talked about it more. Yeah, so with the latest video, it was meant to be a big catch-up video to make up for the fact that I'd been gone for so long. So I was going to talk about Borderlands 4, I was going to talk about Death Stranding 2, I was going to talk about Astrobot and Pac-Man World 2 Repack. Can't remember if there was a fifth game in there or not. And what ended up happening was the script was just kind of a bit... I talked about all the things I wanted to talk about, but I didn't go into enough depth. And I just kind of wasn't happy with how the script came out in the end, so I just ended up scrapping the entire thing. I guess I can chalk it down to just it being kind of an experiment at the end of the day that just didn't work out. And so I just kind of scrapped it because it wasn't up to standard. So yeah, like, that starts at the script level, and I already probably throw out more scripts than, like, you know, I lead on. I don't make a video on every game I play. I will start, and then I'll think maybe yes, maybe no. And I kind of make my mind up from there. Unless it is a game that I, you know, get a key for from a developer or something, in which case, you know, I'll just force myself through it even if I'm kind of feeling it or not. And yeah, so scripts haven't really been kind of hitting any, like, the standard of quality that I'm happy with. And partially that is just, like, I've been trying not to become formulaic with the way I format my videos, but it's kind of happened anyway. Like, I try to, like, take this free-form approach to, you know, like, reviewing a video, like, just talking about the stuff that matters. And it hasn't really been working, and I kind of want to make it work, but at the same time, I think I need a better game plan. I found that the approach that I'm taking at the moment, it isn't working the way I want it to, and I've ended up becoming formulaic anyway, even though that's not what I've kind of wanted. And so if, you know, my videos do become, you know, a bit more formulaic going forward, I would rather them be, you know, a decent quality that, like, people would come to expect. Like, I don't want it to be, like, hit or miss like it has been. You see a lot of times with reviewers that, you know, when they review something they don't like, that people like, that they will just get an absolute shitstorm of hate towards them. And look, I don't think there's any way of completely mitigating that. It comes with the territory of being a content creator. Like, you know, people are just going to disagree with you. People are just going to hate on you for no reason. What the fuck was that? Again, every time, this train of thought completely blasted away by some loud explosion. And it sounds like someone died. Hello, guy. Undeserved hate just comes with the territory of being a content creator. Look no further to, like, I made a short about a month or two ago about, like, one of the trailers from Gamescom, and it was that Outlaws remaster. The trailer had just, like, a bunch of gameplay, but none of the bullets were hitting, and the person who was playing in the trailer was actively avoiding shooting, and I just thought it was just this really weird thing that I wanted to share with everyone. And I got just comments across every spectrum that you could think of, and it did very well. It's got like 2 million views or some shit, which is just another thing, which is like, it was a video that I think it took me less than an hour to make, and it just became the most. And you can hear my voice; it's completely different. I am sick as a dog in that video, and that was a different sickness. Again, I've just been ever since I turned 30. I've just been sick. It's just all downhill. Don't turn 30. It really is just the start of the decline. It was just a weird thing that I wanted to show because I was like, the video that like I initially talked about, it didn't do very well, so I was just like, oh, I'll make a short out of it. I was a bit sick and I just made the video on a whim, and it just became the most popular thing on my channel. Like 2 million views. Just like that. It's kind of like disparaging when you make a video like that where you don't put much effort into it and it becomes like more popular than anything that you've done, like things that have been like put days, weeks into that just get like not many views, and it's just instantly eclipsed by this one like tiny thing that you just didn't really care about. It's a bit of a throwaway, and then bam, just like that. YouTube's weird, man. Anyway, circling around back to comments, like you just get everything across the spectrum, just starting from like, people who are like, oh yeah, that is kind of weird, and other people who are just like coming up with weird theories, thinking that like I'm some kind of shill for the company who made the game, or people who are like, oh, you fell for the bait of the advertising, like it's rage bait, etc., etc. And I was just like, oh my god, man, like. I just wanted to share this weird little fucking thing that I found that I just thought was really weird. And, just got everything. Just every possible comment you could think of. Just from brain dead to, like, there are comments in there that, like, theorized as well, and people who came up with, legitimate theories. And I think the one that ended up being probably correct. I don't know if the developers ever addressed this because, that short got a lot of views. Like, someone must have, like, asked them about it. And it probably was just to avoid like getting an age rating on the trailer, even though it was a part of like a showcase that had some kind of graphic things. I'm pretty sure there was a trailer for Cronus: The New Dawn in there, and there was like huge monstrous like abomination shit that was pretty not safe for work. But again, Gamescom is in Germany, and I think they've got like different restrictions on things over there. I don't know. I didn't make the video with all the answers, and I don't really care at the end of the day what the answer was. I mean, I'm interested, but like, it's just like, it wasn't a very big deal. And anyway, people just thought I was just a shill or some shit. Which, as a channel that's never taken any sponsorship, and I don't think I'll ever take a sponsorship for any game, ever, is just kind of a weird thing. It's just like, people just make the like the wildest assumptions about someone that they've like never met, that they don't like. Their only experience was that one short of me talking about a game trailer, and they just instantly hate me or whatever the fuck. Anyway, that just comes with the territory with content creation. I'm well aware of it. It's just something you just kind of have to deal with. Anyway, yeah, state of the channel. I don't plan on taking as big of a break. 30 days of no uploading or whatever. It went by like nothing. It didn't feel like I hadn't uploaded for 30 days. It feels like I haven't uploaded for a week, and it's just kind of turned into that. And I don't know where the time's gone. This is just a bit of a way to vent about kind of like content creation and trying to do that on top of having a full-time job. It's not easy. It is, I don't want to get anyone wrong. Like, content creation, like, is easier than a normal job. Like, it is. The hardest part about it is being able to stay creative over longer periods of time and trying to make things that you're kind of proud of, and even when, things are a bit hard, like, creatively speaking, how do I make the content more enjoyable for you guys when it's not as enjoyable to make for me? And just, like, in general, what kind of content I want to make going forward. What the fuck? I feel like I want to kill this guy. I don't know why. We'll just YOLO it.
Hey, bro.
Yo, how's it going?
Yep. I just looked up and you're like coming halfway down. I'm looking at shit.
Oh, you're down there. I swear I saw an explosion up here.
No. Oh yeah, no, there's a turret.
Oh.
I'm just looking for baskets and shit, man. I'm just looting, dumping quests. And you know the baskets for all apricots or lemons and shit. You seen any?
Nah. Yeah, I'm looking for lemons as well. I don't know where they are.
Yeah. I'm not sure where they spawn.
Yeah. I know the apricots, they spawn on the first map. Like, we know where the like the red like lake is. There's like a little like island part. There's a bunch of apricots there.
Oh really? Okay.
But yeah, I don't know where lemons are though. This channel at the moment is kind of, you know, it's a side project. You know, I do work pretty much full time in retail, and that is, you know, it's pretty draining. But you know, if this channel ever became my main source of income, I feel like, you know, if I would have more time to dedicate towards, you know, upping the quality of videos and maybe experimenting a bit more. You know, as it stands, it is hard to dedicate a lot of time, you know, within my kind of life schedule to making content and stuff like that. I enjoy making it, it's just finding the time and kind of the motivation. And another big problem that comes with, you know, reviewing games and stuff like that is, with a channel as small as mine, getting in early is half the battle. Like, you are kind of competing with other people for views. So when a game, you know, such as Arc Raiders comes out, if I make a video 3 weeks after it comes out and the hype has died down, nobody's probably going to watch it, especially if it's a straight up review rather than something that like a video essay that maybe talks about a certain aspect of the game, like player interaction or something along the lines of that. You know, they played as a pacifist for 100 hours and they beat the Queen or some shit like that. I mean, I say some shit like that, but like, you know, that would actually be kind of fun to see. So, you know, if I make a straight review on Arc Raiders and it comes out, you know, 3 weeks later, it's going to get like 100 views or whatever. Nobody's going to watch it. And one of the main, like, you know, challenges as a content creator is first getting views in the first place. And look, I'm of the opinion of if your video, like, if your content is of quality, you will get views eventually. Like, it'll happen. It may not happen for a while, but it will happen eventually. Like, if you make good content, people will eventually find you. They'll, oh, for fuck's sakes. They'll share it with their friends or whoever else. If you're making good stuff, people will find you eventually. You know, you might not get, you know, Mr. Beast views or whatever the fuck. Nobody is, then, you know, it's an unrealistic standard. Is like, when reviewing games, you have to get in quick or you're not going to get in at all. And so it's a constant battle of trying to get in, you know, fast enough that you can hit the algorithm, so to speak, but also have the quality level that you're not missing things. And so, you know, unless, you know, you get a key from a developer, like, early, you know, 2 weeks early, a week early, or whatever, then it is hard to get a video out on time that'll hit the algorithm, especially as a smaller creator, such as me. You know, unless you know, clickbait the shit out of your titles and thumbnails, which is something you just kind of have to do, which sucks, but, you know, I never feel good about doing something like that. And I feel like I've never gone, like, full clickbait, or maybe I did with that BattleBit video a year and a bit back, and every time I do that, I feel dirty, and I don't want to do that. And that's kind of like another reason why I just kind of, like, leave a lot of scripts on the floor. If I feel like I'm late and it's not good enough, then I just scrap things completely. Nobody wants to be, you know, like, with no other better term for it, an algorithm whore. So that's like, I know I'm rambling a lot, and this is just kind of a lot of the, like, questions that are going on, like, throughout my head. You know, I don't really have a lot of answers for a lot of this stuff. Like, I haven't figured it out. Like, I haven't figured out the way forward yet. But, like, if there's been big gaps in content, that's kind of just what I'm thinking about. Like, if I haven't uploaded in a month, it's not because I've forgotten about the channel and I've abandoned it. It's because I'm just fucking overthinking. I'm overthinking a lot of the aspects to what I want to do next. And, you know, is it something that I, you know, want to do? Is it going to be good for the channel? You know, because the thing is, if you experiment too much, the channel becomes unfocused. Nobody wants to watch it. If you become too formulaic, become boring, people don't want to watch you. If you just pump out garbage content, again, it's nobody's gonna want to watch it, and you know, it's I want to find. I guess I kind of want to find a personality. I want to find an editing style that suits me. You know, there are videos much earlier on where my presentation is a lot worse, but the editing is a lot better, and the things I had to say were much more kind of, I don't know, like impactful, more thoughtful. And I kind of want to get back to that and kind of, you know, mix that with the current style that I've got, where, you know, I'm much better at talking to the, you know, camera or the microphone. And I say that in an unscripted video that I'm pretty sure. Ooh, lemons. Oh my god. Is there a third lemon? Where are the lemons? Oh, I've been looking for these for ages. The lemons over here? And so, yeah, I think over the next, you know, few, like, couple months or so, this is going to be something that I'm going to be doing, is I'm just going to be looking at trying to refine my craft a bit more. You know, not uploading unless I feel like it is good enough. Starting now. This video is probably not going to hit my quality standards, but something I need to talk to you guys about and kind of let you know what's going on with the channel. So maybe uploads will slow down a bit while I try and figure things out a bit more. Because, yeah, like I said, I still don't have all the answers. Moving forward, there are 2 projects that are absolutely definite. Like, these are happening. So yeah, I'll definitely be doing a video where I'm talking about the video game awards. That's a definite. I always love talking about the video game awards. It's always a lot of fun. We'll do the usual thing there. And we may do a nominees video, maybe not. I'll decide when the time comes, really. Another definite project I am working on is the end of year video, which I did last year, where I talk about every single game that I played that came out in 2025. So yeah, we'll definitely be doing that again. What the f is that? And yeah, I've already played more games this year than last year, so that video is going to be bigger, and I'm hoping it'll be better. And yeah, apart from that, we're just going to see how things go. And yeah, a lot of the time while I'm gone, if I'm gone for much longer, like, you know, my vocal cords are back. And so yeah, now that I'm kind of back to full health, I'm not sure if the content will be as steady as it has been in the past. Again, I kind of just want to, like, I want to spend some time on kind of refining my style, my editing process, and maybe just, like, seeing if there's ways that I can, you know, looking at all the ways that I can improve and looking at ways that I can, you know, kind of expedite the process to make things easier while not, like, sacrificing quality. So even though, you know, I'm back to full health, content might not be as steady as it once was. But that's my main problem, is that quality. Just quality. Yeah. So anyway, thanks for anyone who's watching this far. I mean, if you're, you know, I'm not sure how long the video length is now, but if you must know, I've been talking to this microphone for about an hour and a half. There's probably a lot of it that got cut out because I've been rambling and, like, re-rambling, kind of what happens when you go unscripted. Again, I feel like much more comfortable when I'm got a script in front of me and I can read off the Google Doc page. And so yeah, anyway, if you're, like, a long-term subscriber, like, seriously, thank you for sticking around. Thank you so much to the YouTube members, you know, for, you know, putting up with my, like, random disappearances. Your names will be put on screen here. I don't recommend you become a YouTube member at this current moment until I kind of figure things out a bit more. But seriously, thank you for anyone who's been supporting me. Thanks for your support. You know, this, like, growth over the last year, it's been great. Even if most of it came from a fucking short